Taurus, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-October 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's going on for the lovely Taurus collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guides, talk to me. What do we have for the lovely Taurus collective as we move on into mid-October? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Taurus. So we move on into one of my favorite times of year. What's happening? Thank you. Nice and quick. All right, yeah, here we go again. And this is something I've been seeing for a lot of earth signs and a lot of signs in general. This card has been very popular for a lot of the zodiac in recent weeks. Very headspacey. I feel like you've had this in recent weeks as well. I feel like a lot of signs keep getting this card, keep getting it. And it is so imaginative and future focused, right? Interesting imagery. But before we fully jump into that and dissect it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the October subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about it. So if you look at this card, you see two figures. One on the bottom, it looks like she's taking a little nap, little snooze. The one on the top is walking on a tightrope. So I always interpret this card as this one daydreaming about doing this. So for a lot of Taurus collective in this time, you might have a very active mind and imagination. I've been seeing that for the other earth signs as well. There's a lot of mental action, more so than usual. Everyone knows that earth signs are very cerebral individuals, but it could be amplified a little bit when this is showing up. A lot of you could just be in the future focus mode, right? Like, what's coming down the line? What do I have in a week, a month, a couple months, a year? Like, there's that plotting the course for the future. But I would say just try your best not to get lost in your mind in this time, because it could be very easy to do so when this energy is lingering around. One thing I always like to say with this heavy thought-based type of energy, sure, it could be someone thinking about you as well. That's a big possibility. But if you have a lot on the mind, or you're being consumed with thought, you want to express it in one way or another. So whether it's writing, whether it's music, whether it's art, just some sort of release valve for the energy so it doesn't get pent up. So we're just going to put that right there. Let's get into tarot now. I mean, like I said, you're not alone in that. A lot of the zodiac's been getting that, but that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote for us. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into the juicy, intuitive stuff. So let's see what's happening, my guides. Talk to me about Taurus. What's going on with my friends? And while we get the deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading. It was a very no-nonsense type of energy last week. Your reading was titled No More Games. And that showed up heavily throughout the whole entire spread. Whereas like someone saying, listen, I'm not playing games. I've walked down that road before. I'm not going to do it again. It was very strict in its ways. So that energy could still bleed over into the coming days and weeks, right? You might be a little sharp around the edges, more so than normal when that energy's around. But it was very much no nonsense. So let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you. All right, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. Let's get you 3 cards. What do we got for Taurus, please? Okay, 7 of Pentacles. We could have some karmic energy afoot, which is another thing I've been seeing for a lot of the zodiac, especially this week. Let's get you a couple more. Could be waiting on something. There could be somebody waiting. Let's see. All right. So if you've been waiting for something, something's going to pop off when we go from the 7 of Pentacles to Judgment. I mean, talk about differences in energy, okay? That's like jarring. That's a very jarring type of energy switch, okay? Hey, we got the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself, without a beard, having himself a little drink for you, my friends. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting one. That could be an emotional type of card. But let's go through Taurus. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into the juicy, intuitive stuff. So we're really going to have to see what's happening here, because there is a different patchwork of energy happening. Yes, elementally, we have earth, we have water, which has a lot of possibility. Okay, that's usually a very bountiful, blessings-filled type of energy. But we have this change, this action, this metamorphosis in the middle that we want to keep an eye on. But let's go through. Also note, both of these cards have karmic archetypes and undertones. In position number 1, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So you see this person there, it looks like they're chilling next to that bush that's growing pentacles, and they're just waiting. So for some of you, you might be waiting on something, waiting on someone, like just wait and see type of mode. That's absolutely possible. This one is also a little bit thought-based. Sometimes this card could represent needing to get out into some nature to refresh your energy. That could be it. But your patience could be tested when this card shows up. I always say this is karmic in nature because this is the epitome of you reap what you sow. What you put forth, you get back in return. So the karmic archetypes are showing up hot and heavy here in the beginning. But the one thing I do like to say about this card is that, yes, there's waiting involved. Yes, it's not the fastest energy, but it is a vibe of like payoffs or somebody winning in the end or coming out on top. So this could be good with the way the energy is laying out. Okay, like we go from the waiting to the kaboom to the King of Cups. The clarifiers are really going to be super important. Now, getting to the center, we have Judgment, the complete opposite. Yes, it's karmic, okay, but karmic in a different way. You see the Archangel Gabriel here blowing that horn. This can represent literal judgment. So maybe some of you are deciding, making a choice, making literal judgment calls in this time, whether they're final decisions or final judgments. That could be the case. But to me, this is generally a card of change and metamorphosis, or it's something being in your hands, a situation, a problem. This could sometimes represent individuals trying to come back around when judgment is here and it's like on you, how to proceed. That could be it. But the main thing I see with judgment is that it's Plutonian, it's metamorphosis, it's transformation, and it's change-based. And it is very, very powerful and explosive and sudden. All those words can apply to this card. Okay, like this is not a weak energy. It is extremely powerful in nature. So when we go from a stopped waiting to a kaboom, like it's like a boom, kaboom type of energy, like something blasting off. So it's like very explosive. So for some of you, whether it is something coming in surprisingly, unexpectedly, it really depends on what the clarifiers are. Moving to the back end, we have our bestest friend in the world, the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups here, chilling out, having a little drink, you know, taking his time. This could be a very nice energy, depending on what clarifies it, of course. This could represent a water sign you're connected to. So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. If we're not talking about that, kings represent control of their respective suit. Cups are all about love. They are about romance, but they're also about one's emotional state, how they're feeling, creativity, artistic feelings. It's a smooth talker, so this is someone that you could have a conversation with when we have the King of Cups, but it's in control of that. So the clarifier for this could tell us someone's feelings. Regardless, this is love. This is a lot of love when we have the King of Cups showing up in a spread. Okay, and the way the energy is laid out, I feel for a lot of you, this reading could go either way, right? Like the results could be shocking. The results could be surprising because we go from stop to kaboom to the King of Cups. So it's like waiting, the event happens, the result. I'm getting like that storyboard type of energy. So I want to dive deeper on all the Taurus. Let's do that. Let's jump in and clarify. All right. Let's get a good shuffle here for my Taurus friends and see what's happening, my guides. Talk to me. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Seven of Pentacles here. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Taurus, drop it down in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Seven of Pentacles. What's happening? What's happening? Thank you. This stuck energy or this waiting energy is going to free up for a lot of you. This could be a conversation or news coming in that you've been waiting for. Absolutely, with the Page of Wands in the upright. And I feel the energy starting to like budge, starting to move, starting to progress, and I really like this. Now, the Page of Wands could just represent a fire sign, so Aries, Leo, Sag. It could be someone younger than you, right, whenever this card is here, but remember, they're students, they're messengers. They can represent the realm of the new as well. But when I see it under a card like the Seven of Pentacles, whether it is like somebody being patient with you or you being patient with them, there could be a conversation or a talk of importance, or like a serious one. It really all depends. And I've been getting that for you for a couple weeks now, like the stern, serious, strict. I've been getting it for other earth signs too, like more so than usual. So when I get this card, it can be an important talk or a serious talk coming in. Either way, intuitively, I feel this is the energy starting to free up. Now, for a lot of you, if you've been waiting on something, I feel like I'm channeling this. If you've been waiting on something, if you've been on hold or anything like that, if something's been blocked up, you're going to get hints and clues that something is about to blast off. Okay, so it's not like this judgment, this energy, this explosive vibe or the shocking vibe is going to completely come out of nowhere. I feel like your intuition is going to tell you, and you're going to have hints, you're going to have clues that's telling you that the energy is starting to free up. Let's move over to judgment. I mean, interesting stuff. We'll talk about it more during the recap. So yes, it's either a talk or you getting the hints and clues that things are about to free up or move along. So let's see why judgment is here. Why is judgment in the mix? And we can't forget the karmic energy at play too, right? Like the cycles of life. So why is judgment in the mix for my Taurus friends? Thank you. My friends, like this is so powerful here in the center. We have the Knight of Swords in the upright underneath this judgment card. Another one of the fastest moving, most powerful cards in the whole entire deck showing up for you in the upright. So like once something kicks off, once something starts picking up steam, it is going to be unstoppable. Okay, so whether this is explosive action, whether this is progress that you're starting to make, like once the ball starts rolling, it feels unstoppable here. Now, the one thing that's giving me a little bit of pause is like we have the Page and the Knight, they're kind of facing each other off, they're fire and air, but that could just be indicating the explosiveness or the shocking energy that I've been picking up for a while here. This could be action, right? Like shocking action or explosive action coming out of a time of waiting. Okay, or coming out of a time of pause. So I really like this. It doesn't feel super combative to me. However, I will say, when you're dealing with such powerful, such fast moving energy, it is prudent not to get wrapped up in it too much. Okay, like entertain it, go with the flow, but like notice it for what it is. I hope that makes sense, right? Because sometimes if energy is so powerful and fast moving, you get too wrapped up in it. That's when things could fly off the handle. But once again, I feel like this is either explosive action or shocking action, like where it just like kind of frees up and it's like, boom, someone makes a move. Like someone or something makes a move here in a very big way coming out of this time of stop. So let's see why that King of Cups is chilling over there with his goblet. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow card. Maybe this will tell us how you might be feeling. And another thing I have to mention here, Taurus, lots of people, right? Like we have the King, we have the Knight, we have the Page. These are a lot of energetic influences, okay? So whether these are literally people in your life or whether this is a lot of different energies affecting you, we have like the whole family. The family's all here. So let's go in on that King and see what's happening. There's the King of Cups here for Taurus. Thank you. Good, you're gonna feel good about this. Whatever this is, whatever this happens, whatever these actions are, I don't feel you stressing it here. We have the Nine of Swords in reverse underneath this King of Cups. Like I feel soothing. I feel someone's like, all right, I feel much better now. I feel much better now. Now that that's happened, or now that that's over with, now that that's through, I feel much better now. Intuitively, that's what it's telling me. So for a lot of you, if this has been hitting, if you've been waiting on something and it hasn't quite freed up yet and you're getting the signs, and when it happens, when this action happens and comes out of nowhere, I think you're going to feel good about it. I don't feel like this is going to be stressed. Now, the Nine of Swords, even in reverse, there is a little bit of nerves about it, kind of like butterflies in the stomach or just a little uneasy. But the fact that it's in reverse underneath the King of Cups, it's like, okay, I feel better about this. I could manage this now. Okay, so whatever is happening, whatever these actions are, whatever occurs, at the end of the day, you're going to feel like you can manage it internally at the very least, okay? It feels manageable to me. So whereas we have this powerful explosive energy, it doesn't feel out of hand for the Taurus collective. And I'll say this, from what I know about Taurus, you're one of the signs that can deal with a lot of situations that other signs can, right? Taurus is the opposite of Scorpio. Both of those signs are renowned for being able to handle almost any situation that comes their way or anything that's going on around them. So I'm picking that up here as well, like cool under pressure is the type of vibe. But let's go through and do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow card. Interesting stuff. In position number 1, we have the 7 of Pentacles with the Page of Wands. Notice, I want to say again, lots of people, lots of karmic energy. I've been seeing that for other signs too. But in this front end, I do feel it could be an important or a serious talk that needs to be had, absolutely. One that you may have been waiting on or one that you're planning. But another thing I was picking up here is that whatever feels stuck or whatever hasn't been moving or whatever delays you've been dealing with, you're going to have hints and signs and clues from Spirit that it's about to start freeing up or that it has. Moving to the center, we have Judgment. With that Knight of Swords in the upright, this kaboom type of energy, this super powerful, explosive or shocking action happening. But I feel like you're gonna kind of already know. So whereas it may be powerful, it may come out of nowhere and pick up a lot of steam. It feels unstoppable, but I think it's manageable with you. Okay, moving to the back end, we have the King of Cups with the 9 of Swords in reverse. Whatever elapses, whatever happens, whatever occurs, I think it's gonna make you feel better. And at the very least, you're going to be able to manage it, okay? And even though I have a little bit of butterflies in the belly, I feel like it's manageable and you're going to be okay with it. So please take a screenshot, Taurus. Let's see what we have in the shadows for you. Guides and Spirit Team, talk to me. Let's shuffle it up one time. Interesting reading this week. Different flavor from last week, that's for sure. Okay, let's see what's in the shadows for Taurus. Oh, and yes, my friends, if you've made it to this point in the video, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll leave a link for it down in the comments below. I'm always doing all sorts of bonus readings and cool things for my beautiful channel members. So obviously no pressure, but we'd be glad to welcome you into the community. Let's get you a shadow card. It was a great way to support the channel. All right, 9 of Pentacles. This is a good, sturdy type of energy. I feel for a lot of you like there's not much that could really budge you in this time, whether that's for good, bad, or indifferent. I love the 9 of Pentacles. It does talk about material abundance, okay? It could speak about someone that's just sturdy and feeling good in place. Now, when we're talking about shadow work, the 9 of Pentacles could sometimes be someone that feels like a little constricted, a little trapped. So watch out for cabin fever in this time. You might need to get out a little bit when this card shows up in the shadows. But I feel for the vast amount of Tauruses out there, like whether you're going through good times, tough times, indifferent times, like this feels like a rock to me in the shadows. So like sturdy, solid, immovable. So for a lot of you, I say this is a very positive shadow card, but just make sure you don't act too stubborn, if that makes sense. Or like make sure if you're feeling like trapped or cornered or anything like that, just get out and get some fresh air at the very least, all right? Make some time for yourself. But Taurus, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the October subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the September subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this week's Fire and Air readings. But for October, I'll be going back to one of the classics. I'll be giving away 2 copies of the Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of the most beautiful decks out there. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. Second, let me know down in the comments if there's a zodiac sign that you clash with. If so, which signs do you kind of bump heads with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of October, your name will be announced in the community tab, my friends. As always, much love, and I'll see you next time.